Right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. 30 years from now, what world do you see in 2030? Unfortunately for me, I will not be doing engineering or technology. I will become a busker. I will switch my profession. Why? Simply because advancement in technology has changed the field of engineers and designers. Not so long ago, we have Elon Musk AI beating top players in Dota, as well as more practical example is Autodesk have the generative design called the Dreamcatcher project. So it generates design from scratch without the designer putting any sketches on a CAD. This is a reality for designers and engineers in the future. So in this bleak future where robots will design and build the next generation of robots, what role do you think you'll play in the future so bleak? But there is hope. I hope you guys know Cesar Millan. And may I present to you the robot Whisperer. So today I'll be presenting on how my amateurish and techish experience on doing various projects, on how I can innovate in the world of 2030. So a brief outline of myself. So I was born in 1993, the birth of the robot Whisperer. Yeah. Since young, I'm fascinated by technology. I am heavily influenced by sci-fi, of teleportation portals, how things get transported instantaneously, and James Bond's watch that becomes a sword that cuts through matter with high-power lasers. And you can see how my childhood influenced my projects later on. So some notable experience and background. I've joined a local engineering firm in Singapore called Hope Technic. They create AGVs and various technology, including fire trucks, drones, space planes, and I landed in the AGV department, automated guided vehicles, which is an indoor self-driving car in layman terms. Subsequently, a year ago, I matriculated to SUTD, the fourth university in Singapore, which is only 7 years old, and is in collaboration with MIT and Boston. And the most recently was I just finished my internship in Rolls-Royce, Singapore, doing on unmanned autonomous unmanned ship. So, how do you innovate in 2030? So in SUTD, they focus really on design thinking. Design thinking is unlike scientific-based approaches where you have a hypothesis and you test it out and experiment it. Design thinking takes into account the emotion of the subject. So when you create a product and develop a product, who do you develop for? Who's going to use it? People. So design thinking takes into account of the people. So fortunately in SUTD, I embarked on a few projects and I'm fortunate to design products using human-centric approaches. So may I present to you wristwatch? Wristwatch is a wearable watch that detects the wakefulness of the user. So depending on the degree of the wakefulness, we will provide equivalent stimulus to the user to wake them up. So less talking, more watching. Okay, it's a silent movie because it was supposed to be a ongoing clip in the exhibition. So there's this user, turn on his web. Yeah, sleepy, right? One with and without. So you know which one will have a good ending. And then you have to shake vigorously to kill the stimulus. Wristwatch. There's more, there's more. Can you leave your applause to that? Right. mentioned earlier, wristwatch, it's actually from a module that we have done. It's called Introduction to Design, a module in SUTD, where we come up with a solution in less than 10 weeks for a real-world situation. So in design approach, we actually iterate our designs and also approach the problem statement very differently. So using we use different technology, which includes Fusion for CAD designs, Arduino kits for electronics and programming, and we fabricate using rapid prototyping technology, which is 3D printers, you guys should know. And then what you can see here, we have 10 over 20 different variations of the wristwatch. And you can see there's different variations just for the features that the user wants, and then we test it out here. So we're fortunate to say that our wristwatch, we actually push it further for second version. We joined a 3-day competition, which what you can see here is a glove version, and we got the first prize. And also very fortunately, the local media and internet actually we caught their attention, including investors. And yeah, I will not go into further details because right. So it's a quite a cliche to bring about the point of passion. Why passion is so important? Because it gives you the grit, the daily challenges you face in your projects and your daily life. So I'd like to share with you guys a competition that I participated. It's called the Tech Factor Challenge. It's not written here. So Tech Factor Challenge is a local competition in Singapore that targets a very common problem that is increasingly common in the world, which is the aging population. So aging population, the elderly, they cannot move properly, they lack the mobility, the infrastructures are not suitable for them to go from places or to even get to their favorite places like the park. So in this project, it was actually 1 year long, and it was very challenging. When we embarked on this competition, we realized that passion is really important to keep me going. Again, that's talking, no watching.
And then lift up, press down.
So in this competition, we started a company called Strider, and then the product is called the Daily Stride. I think you can see the reason behind it. So we want the elderly to make the step outdoors, indoors, whatever. So to make the step outdoors so they don't feel the fear of falling ever again. And that's basically the product. And the amazing thing is our initial prototype was totally different from what you have just seen. Our first prototype is actually an inflatable robot that goes around catching elderly who falls. Yeah, it's like Baymax, so yeah, and it's 1 year long, so that's some passion. So what I just shared is really experience I have and all the projects I've done to innovate and to be an entrepreneur. But really people ask me do you do this alone? Of course the answer is no. I got to have a team, and to lead a team you got to be the most experienced, or you have to know your bearings, like the captain of the ship or the pilot of the plane. So in SUTD, to do really what I love, I need to form a team, and there wasn't a robotics club, which is what I want to do, and that's what I did. I started a club called SAW, which is a SUTD organization of autonomous robotics. So they do mainly robotics, but our projects are based on 3 main fields: industry, social, and education. All these projects must fit a problem statement in these fields, or we will not do them. There's no value and there's no demand, there's no point doing. All our projects have a stakeholder, has a user in mind, where we can practice our design thinking and make it sustainable. But I will not cover all the fields, I'll just cover one project, which is the Waiter Robot. So let's watch again. Alright, so WaiterBot is an industrial platform where we actually, instead of waitering beverages and food, it's actually meant for Industrial 4.0. Currently, the industry, they uses a lot of conveyor belts. They need to install so many infrastructures, which is redundant because as their product changes, the life cycle, and they got to remove all the machines and change everything all around. And also, human labor are expensive, are getting more and more expensive. So that's why Waiter Robot, or indoor mobile payload, which is an indoor self-driving car. Yeah. And we are very fortunate that we got to have support from industrial partners, including DSO, which is a local Singapore defense solution company, and also Intel as well. So what you see here is me explaining to this VP of Intel, Rosalind Hucknall. I want to thank you guys to listen to my amateurish experience and what I do to hustle to do with my innovation and entrepreneur and leading my team. Just a shameless advertisement. I'm actually looking for internship and overseas exposure. So if anybody have an opportunity, just a shout out to the Dalhousie University. Thanks you guys for welcoming me like one of your own when I first arrived. So if there's any opportunity, please feel free to take me in your luggage. I'm Asian, I can lead. So yeah, that's it. Thank you.